Okay. Hey, welcome to the AC After Hours podcast. My name is Tony Boonsing. I am one of your hosts. And today we have with us Katina Leigh with TWFG Kaiser Insurance.
Hello.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing fantastic.
Good.
Let's just dive into it, Katina.
Okay.
Please tell us about you and your company.
Okay. My name is Katina Leigh. I'm with TWFG Kaiser Insurance. We are a independent insurance agency here in Amarillo. We have been here for a little over 41 years.
Wow.
My mom and stepdad started it back in May of 1984. And so we've been around a while.
41 years.
41 years.
I'm almost 41, and that's a long time. How long have you been with the company?
I have been with the company for 20 years.
Okay.
A little over 20 years.
Now, what took you so long to get started?
Well, it was, I was about 6.5 when they started it. So I did grow up with it. I would help my mom out in the office. You know, she would make me come and file. And back then you actually had file cabinets and typewriters and all that sort of stuff. And graduated high school, went and did kind of my own thing for a little bit. Mm-hmm. And then I had lost my job because the company I was working for got sold.
Okay.
The lady that worked for her was moving away, which was her main agent. Mm-hmm. So she's like, just come help me out part-time. I'm like, okay, sure. Part-time has turned into 20 years.
Wow.
So here we are.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Was your previous job in insurance as well?
It was not.
Okay.
No. I did banking, and then I did human resources for a restaurant.
Okay.
So.
Now, I dabbled a little bit in the insurance world back in the day, and I know there's tons of studying and testing. Mm-hmm. Tell me your experience with that, because for me, I took the test 3 times, and it was tough, but tell me how that was for you.
I can't say I struggled with it. Mm-hmm. You know, I worked for Mom for probably about 6 months when I decided to finally take my test, because this was turning into more of a permanent position. And I stayed for about a month and took the test. And of course, we are required to do continuing education every 2 years to keep our license. And so I do keep up on that.
Okay.
But I just have it's called property and casualty license.
Right.
I do not have life and health.
Okay.
I've not done that part.
Okay.
Maybe eventually.
Yeah.
And I'll get that. So I just have the property and casualty.
And that was a test I took, was the life and health.
Okay.
And
I think that's more difficult.
Yeah. I'm not a very quick study.
Yeah.
So I tell you what, it was one of the hardest things I ever had to do. And I honestly wish I would have kept up with it, because it can come in handy.
Yeah.
But, things happen.
Well, eventually maybe I'll get it. My mom does have that license, so we are able to do life insurance as an agency.
Sure.
I just personally have not ventured into that world.
Yeah.
So
tell me, your department, your world, your licenses, what kind of insurance do you offer?
I specialize mostly in auto and home is what I do. And then we also do business insurance. So, the auto is going to be obviously your vehicles, motorcycles, ATVs, then it goes into recreational vehicles, boats, motorhomes, that sort of thing. Then you have the home side, property side, that's going to be your homeowners, your renters insurance, your landlord policies, mobile homes, and then you have the business side, which is going to be commercial property, general liability, E&O, workers' comp, all the above.
Okay, and that's all your department.
Yeah, I can handle all of that. Yes.
So you have a wealth of knowledge when it comes to insuring those things.
I like to think so.
So you're saying that people can insure like homes, cars, boats, ATVs, things like that. What's the quirkiest thing that someone can insure?
Probably what a lot of people don't realize that you insure is specific contents in your home. I have a policyholder that has her silverware scheduled on her homeowners because it's very valuable. So that's, you can insure your art, Golf carts is another one. That a lot of people don't realize that you can get insurance. You know, it's a big thing now for some of these communities that you drive your golf carts around. Want to make sure you have the right coverage on those.
Wow.
So, yeah, there's lots of niche things that you can insure.
Like jewelry, you can do that.
You can insure jewelry. You know, on a basic homeowner's policy, a lot of people don't know that there's a limit. So on your basic homeowner's policy, with most companies, you're going to have a $1,500 limit on jewelry. So if your home is burglarized and they come in and take a $50,000 ring, you're not going to get $50,000 for that ring unless it's scheduled, meaning that you specifically have it listed on your policy, you have it appraised, and then you can get that full value, whether it's lost, stolen, whatnot.
That was my next question do we have to get something appraised in order to be insured?
For it to be scheduled, yes.
Okay, I got you.
It has to have an appraisal. Yep.
So let me ask you this. Could someone who has proof that a stack of Pokemon cards is of value, is that something you could schedule? It's
a collection.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Possibly. Yep.
Wow. Pokemon cards. Huh?
Yeah.
Have you ever
like coins?
Yeah.
You can schedule like coins.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the craziest thing you've been asked to schedule or insure?
Really, I mean, probably just the silverware, because you don't get that very often.
No, you don't.
Jewelry is very common.
Okay.
You know, someone gets an engagement ring or expensive pair of earrings.
Sure.
Jewelry is probably the most common thing that we schedule. Furs, you can schedule furs.
Oh, wow. Not the buffet, the jacket.
Yeah, the jacket. I miss the buffet. No. Yeah, the jacket. So, I mean, there's lots of different things out there that you might not realize that you can. But that's when you definitely, if you have a lot of those top things, definitely check with your agent and get those, make sure you're insured. Guns is a big one. There's a limit on guns. You know, we're in Texas. That's a big thing.
Wow.
So
there's quite a few things in my house that I need to insure now because, I mean, I do business with you, obviously, but, you know, my wife's engagement ring, wedding ring. I just got her a nice pair of earrings that she's always wanted. We have, you know, guns in the house, but I never thought about that kind of stuff.
And like on the jewelry, you can have a separate policy. You don't necessarily have to have a homeowner's policy to be able to get those insured.
Yeah.
You can have a like a personal policy for that.
Yeah.
You know, that's just for that.
I got you. So 20 years in the business, right?
Yeah, over 20 years.
20 years in the business. What have you seen? Very, very long time. What have you seen from day one to today as far as like changes or trends? And can you go deeper into that?
Yeah, absolutely. The biggest change we've probably seen is on the homeowner side. The dwellings is kind of what we call them in the insurance world. You know, before deductibles were low. You could get sometimes even $1,000 deductible on a homeowner's. When I very first started, the value that you have to insure your home at has really changed. Now, probably within the last 5 years, we're seeing an increase in the value of homes. You know, you see it on the real estate side, obviously, but you're also seeing it on the insurance side because of the cost of construction, the cost of materials, the cost of labor, because that's what the replacement of your home is based on. So if you buy the home for $150,000, that doesn't mean that you can insure it for $150,000. Normally, you're going to have to insure it for more than that because it's not based on the appraisal value and it's not based on the tax appraisal. It's not based on what you bought it for. It's based on if that home were to completely burn down today, what it would cost to rebuild it with today's construction cost and labor cost.
Wow.
And so that's what a lot of people don't realize. And they might get a little frustrated because they're like, my home's not worth that.
Right.
Well, it is if it burns down and you want to rebuild it.
Yes.
Another thing is deductibles. We're seeing a lot of companies move towards a minimum 2% deductible, which what that means is if your house is insured for $100,000, then your deductible would be $2,000. Where in the past, a minimum in Texas was 1%.
Okay.
So we're seeing these higher deductibles. We're also seeing companies just getting pickier on what they'll insure, limitations. You know, I have a company now that has a cosmetic exclusion on anything metal. And when I say anything metal, I mean gutters, garage doors, anything that's metal on your home. If it's only has cosmetic damage, meaning it just doesn't look pretty because of the dents, they're not going to cover it. So there's just lots of homeowners is not black and white. It's very important to talk to your agent, know what your coverages are, know what your exclusions are, your limitations, because every company is different.
Wow. So going back to the value of the home, according to cost of construction. Let's say you get someone on a policy today, and using your parameters, and in 15 years, cost of construction is higher. How do you keep track of that? And then, hey, your policy is going up a little bit, or how does that work?
Companies actually, as an agent, basically what I do is, with us being independent, we work with several companies. It's not just one. So every company has their own what is called a costimator.
Okay.
So we go in, we put square footage, year built, is it frame, is it brick, is it stucco, is it metal, is it 2-car garage, 1 car, is it detached, not attached, how many bathrooms, how many bedrooms, all those things we put into the costimator. With today's technology, a lot of times we put in the address and it automatically pulls all that up.
Wow.
Their system does.
Yeah.
But we can go in and you can change it to economy, which is your very basic cabinets. You can do standards, you can do custom, because you want the home to be insured. Just because it's a 2,000 square foot house, one 2,000 square foot house might be very, very basic, and another might be
extravagant.
Yeah. So you want to make sure you're insuring it correctly. Then it comes up with, okay, this is what we want it insured for. Every renewal, there's usually an automatic inflation on that.
Okay.
They automatically will increase that coverage at every renewal, whether it be a couple of thousand or several thousand.
Sure.
So the companies are really good at monitoring that. Or we can go in as if a customer comes to us and says, I've done all of these renovations, I need it insured for more, then we can definitely go and increase it at any time.
Okay. So they're the costimator keeps up with the market, basically. I got you. That makes sense.
Yep.
Now, you did mention you are an independent agent. Tell us what that means for those of us who do not understand that.
Don't know insurance
verbiage.
What that means is we are not specific to one company. We are not, we are appointed with several companies.
Okay.
So some of those companies, Geico, Progressive, Safeco, which is part of Liberty Mutual. I'm sure everyone has seen Liberty Mutual commercials. Travelers, Foremost. I mean, I could go on and on, but we have companies that specialize in auto. We have companies that specialize in home. We have companies that might specialize in both. And so basically what that means is if you call me, you're a customer, you call me, hey, I need a quote. I'm just not going to quote you with one customer or one company. I'm going to quote you with several companies. Not just give you the best rate, but also what coverages I think you need, because companies offer different coverages. And then we'll go over the different options. I might give you 2 options, because one might be a 1% deductible and one might be a 2. Yeah. But I'm going to give the customer the option, go over the advantages, disadvantages, and go from there.
Yeah.
And then another good thing about going with independent is when it comes up for renewal, I get those renewals as an agent. And if I see an increase, then I'm going to automatically shop it. I'm not going to call you and say, hey, do you want me to do this?
Sure.
I'm going to shop it for you. And then if I can find you something better, or if I can't find you anything better, I'm going to let you know either way.
Yeah. So to me, that sounds like the perfect scenario, because I just want to make one phone call, say, hey, I got this car, I need it insured. You go do the legwork, the heavy lifting, you shop, you give me a mixed bag of options of good, better, best.
Correct.
I love that.
And it might not be, you might need both auto and home insured.
Yeah.
And it might be with 2 completely different companies, but I'm still one agent. So I'm still servicing both. You still only have one person to call. It's just sometimes bundling is great in most scenarios, but it also might not be.
Sure.
So
sure. No, that
we
makes
have
sense.
that option to separate out.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Walk me through let's say I got to file a claim. For instance, in our area, we just had a huge hailstorm.
Yes.
A lot of homes damaged, some not as much. When that phone rings, do they call you, or how does the claim work?
It just depends on the customer. You know, some customers they're good with going online, turning it in themselves. You know, and some want that one-to-one conversation, and I do like that. I want to know what's going on with my clients. So they'll call me, say, hey, you know, we just had that big hailstorm. Most of the time, if there's not obvious damage, they don't know what to do from that point. They just know that their neighbor is getting a new roof or whatnot. So kind of from that point, if they don't have any current leaks or broken windows or anything like that, then it's, do you have a contractor? If you have a contractor, my first recommendation is to have them come out and look at it, whether it be a roofer or whoever. If you know someone, come out, look at it. They determine if it's worth turning into insurance. Most contractors are seasoned enough that they will know, yes, this is worth turning in, or no, it's not. You know, get someone honest that you trust.
Sure.
Then they'll call me back, say they said yes or no. If they say yes, then I can turn in the claim for them. And an adjuster is assigned to it. Then once the adjuster is assigned to it, the agent is kind of taken out of the scenario somewhat, because the adjuster will contact the customer direct.
Okay.
But as an agent, I try to follow up. I let them know, call me if you need anything. I follow up with them once the estimate is complete. These are the next steps. You know, follow up to make sure. It's just a lot of following up from that point.
Sure.
In most cases, the contractor is going to work direct with the insured, and the contractor will work with the insurance company from that point too.
I got you.
So,
in your role, would you say you could be an advocate? Are you the advocate for the client or for the company?
The client.
Okay.
I don't specifically work for a company.
Okay.
I work for my client.
Okay.
I am kind of the go-between, I guess you could say. As an agent, obviously we don't set rates. We don't do any of that. We have no control over rates or anything like that.
Right.
But if they are having an issue, then I can step in and be the contact for the company.
Sure.
Now, does it always work out? No. But it is helpful to have that person that kind of knows what to say, what to ask for, and what the next step is. If, like, for instance, if you do turn in a claim and they come back and say, no, we're denying it, that doesn't have to be the end of story.
Right.
You know, we can get some other opinions. We can get an appraiser out there. There's other options that you have to move forward with the claim.
Sure.
So.
And the only reason I asked that is because, you know, like I said, I had a little bit of experience in the life and health side of insurance. And, you know, sometimes as insurance people, there can be a bad stigma or a negative stigma. But at the end of the day, we all understand that insurance is something that you need.
Right.
It's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it.
Correct.
Right? So that's why I asked that. And again, we are here with Katina Leigh with TWFG, Kaiser Insurance. And we're talking about her career in the insurance game and the things that she offers. And what were you going to say? I'm sorry.
No, you're good. What I was going to say is, you know, now with the online world, a lot of people will go online and just get insurance. They don't know what they're getting. They don't know what they're buying. And I think I mean, obviously I'd love you to come to me, but I just think it's great for you to just have an agent, someone that you can call, know what coverages you're getting, that can explain it to them, know what those numbers mean on your auto policy, and not just purchase something because of the price. So that would be my biggest recommendation.
And speaking of that, like, I've been the guy who shopped for insurance online, but then I'm also the guy that called you and said, hey, I need better rates. Like, I personally love the personal touch of having a human interaction, someone I can call when I have a challenge or an issue that can provide me a solution. That's very valuable to me. But for someone who does not see that value of that, what can you say to them that can, as far as having the benefits of having someone like you yourself in their corner?
Right. Well, a perfect example is I have a customer who I've had for years and years and years, and he loved him to death, but he was one of those guys that just wanted the cheapest, the most minimum coverages. And I'd been talking to him several times. We at least need to add this coverage. We need to add this coverage. So probably 6 or 7 months ago, I finally talked him into adding uninsured motorist, which what that is if you just have liability on your auto insurance, that only covers the other party.
Right.
There is no coverage for your vehicle. So if it's not a vehicle that you necessarily want to put full coverage on, you can add uninsured motorist, which will cover you in the case of someone hitting you that doesn't have insurance, which honestly I have seen more of in the last 2 years than I have in my whole 20 years. We've seen more uninsured motorist cases where people are getting hit and the other party doesn't have insurance. So he called me up a few weeks ago and was like, we did put that uninsured motorist on my policy, right? And I'm like, we did. Well, guess what? He got hit by an uninsured motorist driver. They didn't have insurance. They admitted to it as soon as they hit him. They didn't have insurance. So his vehicle, which got almost totaled, would not have had any coverage if I had not finally talked him into getting that coverage. If you don't have an agent to guide you in that, what would happen?
Yeah, because you never know.
You never know.
You never know.
It's one of those things, you don't think you need it till you need it.
Yes.
And then when you need it, you're glad you had it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go back and check our correspondence and make sure we got it on ours now. Because you're right. Like, in our city, we have like Facebook groups of who's this bad driver and this and that. And you always see people posting about wrecks and things like that. And 9 times out of 10, the people in those wrecks, somebody don't have no insurance.
Or hit and run.
Yeah. And you don't want to be on the bad end of that.
Right.
So get your uninsured motorist, people.
It's really not that expensive.
Oh, man. So
it's optional in the state of Texas. So that's why a lot of people don't carry it. But,
wow.
Yeah.
So, how do you go without insurance? Isn't that illegal?
It is. It is.
We're not snitching on anybody. We're not.
We're not.
Just saying.
We're not stitching, but it is illegal. Get your insurance.
Have your ducks in a row.
Yes.
There was one time I had gotten in a wreck. I was actually headed to the gym on Hillside and Soncy, headed west, and I was sitting at the red light. And next thing you know, all I hear was a loud doof, and then I black out. And then I wake up, I'm in the middle of the intersection.
Oh, wow. Someone
had rear-ended me so hard, they had pushed my trunk into my back seat and totaled my car. And, I'm so glad, before that, I was one of the people that didn't have insurance because it was a very long, tight budget. However, I had insurance on this car because I freaking loved this car. However, after she wrecked into me and got totaled and all the things, I was very, very grateful that I had that.
Yep.
Because not only did it obviously pay for the car, but it paid for, what is it called? Personal injury protection, or PIP, or whatever? Yeah.
PIP, yes, very
Can you
good.
explain what PIP is?
Personal injury protection.
Yes.
That is an additional coverage you can add. Once again, it's optional. But it covers you and anyone in your vehicle for medical, lost wages, anything like that if you're involved in an accident. Yeah. So it's different limits. Minimum, the least amount you can get is $2,500, $5,000, $10,000 per person.
I'll tell you what, It was very helpful.
It is.
It wasn't a lot, but it was very helpful.
Yeah, any little bit helps.
Exactly. So let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talk about the AEC, the Amarillo Exchange Club.
Okay.
How long have you been with the club?
I have been with the club for 4 years. Okay. I am one of their original members.
Another OG.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, another OG. So I was actually invited by, my husband got invited to the initial meeting. And so then he invited me to come with him. And it was started by Madison, a realtor here in town. And she had known Daniel through some home inspections. And so she asked him, he asked me. We started with about, I don't know, maybe 7 of us got together one day, and it just kicked off, and we've been going ever since.
Awesome. And so, a lot of you don't know, but you will now. Katina is actually our director of operations, and she is the backbone of the club. And I mean, it runs so smoothly because of the work that she does behind the scenes. So I appreciate you, and I'm sure everyone who is in the club also can agree with that.
I love it. So,
what do you love about it?
Well, the office that I work in, it's just me and my mom. And so there's not a lot of people coming and going. and so it's nice to have a group to go to every week of business-minded people to get ideas off of, marketing ideas. It has really developed me. I can't say enough how much it has just made me want to be better. And not just in my business, but in life in general. I not only have developed a lot of business relationships out of the group, but friendships. Lifelong friendships, I believe, that I've made within the group. And, it's not about getting referrals. Obviously, that's what a networking group is, referrals and all that. But it's just the camaraderie that we have. And I know that I could call anybody in that group with any question, and they would answer the phone and help me out with whatever it might be, whether it's business or personal. So it's just, I've really enjoyed it. And, there's been some people come and go, and I still stay in contact with the ones that have gone for whatever reason. But we have some great people in the group, and I'm excited to be a part of it. So
absolutely, me too. I mean, I agree with everything you touched on. What do you think has been the best? And I'm sorry, there's rewind. Let's go back to the insurance thing.
Yeah.
What has been the most rewarding thing about being in this industry for 20 years?
Well, it started off as just a way, obviously, to help my mom out. And then I had 2 little girls at the time. So it was also beneficial because obviously, you work in a family business, you're going to have more flexibility. So that was great. But really just, I've had some clients for the whole time that I've been there, and they've become family. And I also just enjoy educating people. That's like huge to me, is when a first-time home buyer calls me or a young driver calls me and they don't know anything about what they're buying, and going over it with them and explaining it to them and them being thankful for that. I love that. I love educating people about insurance and just making sure that, it's not always about price. A lot of times people will call and say, well, I got this quote, but then when you look at the coverages, they're not really what they need, or they might have more coverage than what they need, but really it's just the educating and helping people understand what they are purchasing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
what's the youngest age you've ever worked with? Is it 18? Is that typically?
Normally 18. Yeah. Anything younger than 18, you really need to be on your parents' policy, because unfortunately,
professional opinion.
Yeah. Unfortunately, insurance does look at credit, and how many 16-year-olds do you know have credit?
Okay, that makes sense.
They don't own a home. They don't have very many discounts that you can get when you're 16. Plus, it's just better. I encourage all parents to put your children on their policy, because it will help them out when they go off and get their own.
Really?
Because you get a auto insurance, you get a prior insurance discount. The prior insurance discount is not based on the vehicle having insurance, based on the driver having insurance.
Gotcha.
So I see a lot of young people coming in, 20, 21, 22 years old, that never had insurance. And that is a fairly big discount.
Sure.
So if you're a parent out there and you're able to put them on, it does cost.
Yes.
I mean, but it will. And legally, you're supposed to put them on there.
Well, we won't talk about that.
Well, we won't talk about that.
No, but it makes sense, because I mean, 18 years old. I have an 18 or 17-year-old and a 15-year-old, and one's learning how to drive, the other one does drive. And if I can help my 17-year-old be on insurance now, I'm going to pay a little bit now, but in the future, it helps him.
It helps him.
And I mean, that's what you want to do.
And a lot of parents, I mean, they can stay on your insurance as long as they live in your household, or even if they go off to college, they can still be on your insurance. So a lot of times parents will call me and say, is it cheaper to put them on their own? Sometimes it is, but a lot of times it's better for them to stay on your policy, and then they just pay you, if you want to do it that way, or however you want to work that out. Just because you're helping them build their insurance history, and then just a lot of times it's just the premium's lower.
Is there an age limit to if someone's living with you, or if one of your children are living with you?
In the state of Texas, technically, if they live in your household, you can have them on your policy. Now, as far as if they don't live in your household, if they're off to college, it's usually up to 25 years old.
Okay.
But if they have their own permanent residence, and it also depends on what name the car is in, too.
I gotcha.
But if they have their own permanent residence, it's usually best they have their own insurance under their address.
Gotcha. So if there's a 50-year-old person living with their mother still, that dude can still be on his mom's card?
Absolutely. We actually have that.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang, that's good to know. Fun fact.
Yeah, because they live in the same household.
Yeah.
So they can be on each other's insurance.
What if it's a ranch and there's a kid living in the barn though? Is that still the same household?
Technically, I guess. Same address.
Wait, not sure if we can talk about that.
Yeah.
I'm just joking. So,
so many different scenarios out there.
I mean, seriously though. I mean, really.
Yeah.
So, Katina, it's been a pleasure having you here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for being here with us on the podcast, and we've been super excited to have you here and anxious to have you here. Let me ask you this: is there anything that you would like our viewers and listeners to know about you or Kaiser Insurance, and any last words?
No, it's just, that we are family owned. We're local. We've been here a long time, so we know the area. And I really believe that our agency focuses on customer service. I'm pretty much reachable anyway, whether you come to the office, you call me at the office, cell phone, email.
Sure.
I'm just here to help my clients out in any way that I can.
And I 100% agree with that, because she will literally answer my question at 8 o'clock at night. I'm like, hey, I gotta get this off my chest or out of my head before I forget, and you don't have to answer till the morning. And she's like, got you, taking care of you right now.
Had a customer call me at 7 o'clock last night because he got in a little fender bender and just had a couple of questions, and I don't mind answering. So
10 out of 10 recommend right there.
Yeah, thanks.
So how do we get a hold of you?
Our office number is 806-358-1344. We do have a local office at 3131 Bell in Suite 104. We're in the Paladar Office Plaza next to the Bagel Place. So we are there Monday through Friday. And then email is Leigh, KLEIGH, at TWFG.com.
Okay.
Or you can always reach me on my cell, 806-335-5803. So lots of ways.
And you're also on Facebook and Instagram?
Facebook and Instagram. Yep. TWFG Kaiser Insurance.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Give me a follow.
That's right. Give her a follow. Reach out to her. I know Katina does due diligence, and even if she cannot service your policy, she will answer all your questions for you. And that's one thing I love about how she does business and what they do there. Again, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, very welcome. Thank you for watching and listening. We are the AEC After Hours podcast. Please like, subscribe, and share. We'll see you later.